So you're probably wondering why I'm at the wet bay. Well, we're here at the Texan RV Park in Athens, Texas, which is home of the NRVTA Training Academy. We came here because there's a young lady here by the name of Sue, and she runs and owns Royal Flush tank services. So what we're having done today, we were coming through Texas, leaving friends and family in Dallas, and on our way to Red Bay, and we decided to stop here and have her pressure clean our tanks. We've been full-timing for 6 years now. It's a 2014 unit, and it's never been pressure cleaned, so it's going to be kind of scary what's going to come out of these tanks. But what I'm going to do before she even comes, I'm going to clean out the tanks real good myself. The whole idea is to have the tanks as clean as possible. I'm going to flush them out till I see clear water coming out, and then we'll see the difference between my cleaning and the pressure cleaning that Sue's going to be able to do from Royal Flush tank cleaning. So let's get going.
Out of there. And I always tell people that usually the gray tank usually smells worse than the black tank. And that's what we want to see. It's still kind of a greasiness to it, so we want to clean all that off. There we go.
Crunchy stuff.
Yeah, the crunchy stuff. It's just the struvite buildup. We're definitely getting some stuff coming out here. Yeah, but it's building up in here. Oh, can you see all that?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Yep. There we go. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some dark pieces that are kind of big in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're flat. That's going to be the struvite buildup. Oh yeah, there's some stuff. And here's some more big stuff coming out. Tanks are one of the biggest issues that RVers experience all the time. If you look at any social media, they are talking about their tanks. So the three main things that are going on in the tanks, the first thing is in the gray tanks, there's something called FOG, which stands for fats, oils, and grease. And fats are everything from butter to a little bit of milk left in the coffee to anything that is basically an animal fat. And they can both be in liquid form, but they can also harden and solidify if it gets cooler. So in your tank, fats are doing both. They're melting and they're also solidifying. Oils are liquid all the time. So you're talking about olive oil, vegetable oils, salad dressings, things like that. So those do not mix in water. They don't blend with water. They'll just float around on the top. And then grease is a catch-all for grease. I think bacon grease, anything that's greasy in anything like spaghetti sauce or anything like that. So fog in general is just going to get all over in the gray tank. It's going to get on the sides. It's going to coat everything. It's going to make a mess in there. So I kind of call it the petri dish. Once everything gets floating around, it's going to build bacteria, and black mold grows very easily in a black tank, or gray tank, excuse me. In the black tank, we've got two things going on. One is the poo and the pee and the toilet paper, which everybody's concerned about. I actually am less concerned about that than what a lot of people are, because I don't see that being the biggest issue. The biggest issue I see in the black tanks is the third thing, which is called struvite. And struvite is basically a rock formation that forms as a result of off-gassing of human waste. And it can be in sand format, it can be in more clumpy format, but it can also form into a layer on the side of the tank and the base of the tank, and it'll get in the lines and the valves and everything like that. So it can make a mess. It's heavy. It'll hold the odor, and so I like to get that out because it's definitely causing a mess in there.
So it's always important to clean off your plates and stuff. I mean,
Yes.
the less you put in your tank, the better it is.
That's one of the biggest things is avoid, just limit what's going down into the tanks. Limit what's going into the gray tank. Scrape off your plates into the garbage, wipe them off with a paper towel. Just be careful about what's going down into the tank. That's going to be a huge thing. I also recommend that people leave both of their tanks or both kinds of tanks, gray and black, closed until they're actually ready to dump. Because when you have a tank that dries out, then everything down there is actually going to be baking on, and it doesn't just all flow out. There's some left in the tank, and it's going to be creating hardened deposits, baking, causing more buildup of mold and bacteria, and so it's going to make a mess in there, and it typically smells a lot worse that way. So I recommend keeping those tanks, all of them, closed until you're ready to dump.
And always have some water in it.
Always have some water in it after you dump. Close the valves. Put about 3 to 5 gallons of water into each tank. Put a little bit of tank product into each tank. That's going to help a lot to keep things going as well as they can in the tanks.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my name is Sue Rasmussen. My company is Royal Flush RV. The best way to get a hold of me is through my website, and it's royalflushrv.com.
Excellent. Great. Thank you very much.
You're so
Appreciate it.
welcome. Thanks so much.